All right, let's go. Alabama Crimson Tide. SEC finished second last year with a 10-6 record. Huge step for the offense. They found a quarterback that they can really lean on, and Douglas Seward, an offense ranked number 2 in the nation. It was a great season for that offense. Unfortunately, the defensive side of the ball didn't live up to expectations and kind of let them down. They missed out on the bowl game just narrowly. And I think it had a lot to do with the lack of depth at two positions, and it looks like they targeted both linebacker and defensive back. Even though they have a couple really standout players on the back end with David Orange and James Collier, safety, um, I think that their depth, especially at corner, the third, fourth, and fifth guys are really bad, and their starting free safety was really bad, and so this draft I think is going to go a long ways in really solidifying that defense, or at least getting it started. With the 19th pick, they went ahead and took weak side linebacker Quay Jones. Here's a player. He's not a burner. At this point, the linebackers were starting to dry up as far as top tier talent. So I do think that this was kind of like, I don't know if it was a reach, but I do think that with the 19th pick, you kind of hope to get a little bit more speed. But 74 speed, not that great a strength, 68, but he's got a really good coverage ability, which is going to be paramount in this defense, because I think that was one thing that was really lacking at the linebacker core, and I think they got burned a lot down the middle due to the linebacking coverage. Really good zone backer too, so he can play man or zone. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of bump and run, so he will whiff on a couple coverages here and there, which could hurt them. But overall, I think he's a good, solid player, good tackling, about as balanced as you get for the linebackers in this draft, besides the top guys that went in the top 10. But I like Quay Jones, not a superstar, but I think he'll fit right nicely into that defense, and he'll peg in as a starter right from the get-go. In the second round, they went and took another linebacker, and they moved him over to safety. And this is going to be interesting because he weighs about 250. Actually, you know what? He weighs 235. So he's going to go down to about 207. So, you know, he's gonna lose some weight, like 28 pounds. So he's going to probably end up. He's 76 speed right now. He's probably going to end up in the low 80s, maybe 83, 82, 83, which is more than enough you need for a free safety. He's got good acceleration, decent strength, and his man coverage is right where you want it. 84 is going to be really good for a safety. He'll be able to play up at the line and guard some slots or some tight ends or backs out of the backfield. Fortunately, he doesn't have the bump and run, so I don't think he translates well to a cornerback position. But I do think that he should be a good safety, even though his zone coverage isn't kind of what you want if you're playing it too deep. I do think he has enough of it that he'll be able to get by, especially when you consider Odom, who's the starting free safety, going into the draft, is really bad at all these categories. So Thompson should slide right into the starting lineup, and I think he's a big upgrade. I actually like this pick a lot more than I like the first round pick, if you can believe it. I just think the value was a lot better with Thompson, especially when he loses the weight. I think that they did well getting him in the second round. But overall, I think they did a good job. They added two pieces to a puzzle, and I think both of them will start right out of the gate, and this should be a draft that they look at as the building blocks of their future defense. Superslot gave them a B, because on the surface I do think that it's not a flashy draft, but when you consider where they're going and the work that needs to be done on that side of the ball, I think it's gonna pay dividends big time. And so I gave them a B plus. I think just the fact that Dave was able to target positions that he really needed instead of reaching. Like, I didn't like how last year he went for a quarterback, and who ended up sitting the bench, and he probably won't get any playing time anytime soon, so that's kind of a wasted first round pick. This year they went and targeted positions that they knew that they were going to get some production out of, and so I gave them a B plus. So congratulations to Alabama.